And that song reminds me, a while back I was having a conversation with another songwriter, and she's actually become very famous now and does a lot of touring and performing and has written some really popular country music. But we were talking about the old days, and she said it always wasn't like this. She said back when I started, I was a single mom with 2 little kids, 18 months apart, living in my car that didn't start very often. She had to do some pretty disgusting things just to put food on her for her kids. But she said something that I thought was really profound, just like their song this morning. She said, when you find yourself in a position where you're living without, you have a really wonderful opportunity to learn what life's about. And I think more you spend some time without. And it's a horrible time, but you learn some things that you never forget. You redefine value. I'm going to try to talk about what drives our journey today. I'm not sure I'll succeed. My whole life I've been seeking something. For most of my life, I was seeking information, seeking a higher intellect. And I learned how to do a lot of things with my hands, build and weld and move stuff and wire and do every kind of trade craft there is. And I read a lot. And I found out that after a long time that most of what I was reading was the same old stuff over and over again. I wanted something different. But what was different, that I found was different, was stuff I didn't agree with, so I threw it away. Once I'd read a couple chapters, I don't agree with that at all, and I just closed the book. And then it dawned on me, what am I really seeking here? What's this yearning? Could it be something like I'm just looking for affirmation for what I think and believe and my opinions? I gave it some more thought. And I think what I seek, and probably what each one of us seeks, if we can identify it, is actually awareness. Awareness of who and what we really are. And we seek all this information, and we seek joy and happiness and fulfillment in other people and books, and we're going to the seminar, we're sure that the next book we pick up or the next seminar we go to, it's going to have the answer that's going to fix it. It's going to... We're looking for the gist, the meaning of our life, the purpose of our life. We're looking in the wrong places most of the time, folks, because we're looking at other people, other things. We're looking outside. And the key is to look inside. You can't expand your awareness outside of yourself. You can't understand more outside of yourself. It's something that has to take place inside. How often we depend on other people for happiness and support and, oh, I met this lady, she makes me so happy. No, that happiness, it has to come from inside of you. The relationships that last the test of time are those where people come together, and each one of them has a certain degree of self-worth, of self-understanding, and they together co-create, just like that song. They co-create the life they choose to have. But Wayne isn't going to make my life wonderful. He can do a lot of things that are really great. But my life to be wonderful has to come here. I have to recognize it, I have to understand it, I have to be aware of who and what I am. Who was the guy with 3 names? Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He says that's how I remember stuff. He said that plants and animals are indigenous. Lemon trees don't do very good in Nome, Alaska. Nor do polar bears do very good in Panama. They're pretty much restricted to the climates in which they do well. But he goes on to say that people, and I don't know how to pronounce this, are endogenous or endogamous. That people actually create their own environments and have the ability to adapt to any climate. You can be who and what you are right here in Sonoma County, or in a prison in Budapest, or in Alaska, or in the tropics. You can be who and what you are, whether you have 3 PhDs or are totally illiterate. We look so much for something that's out there to make our lives better. Every one of us was born with everything we need. And the first thing we are told is we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're too fat, we're too skinny, our hair is the wrong color. All the people that want to control our lives, want to keep us enslaved to debt, make us consumers forever. They've had a pretty good impact. The average American today creates 23 times the amount of waste for our landfills that they did in 1950 per capita. We're buying into that consumerism stuff. When the fact is, we aren't consumers, folks. We are creators. We create our life. We work together to create our relationships. We work with our children that we all mature together. Who and what you really are, without the cool stuff, without the facade, without this goody two-shoe personality. Who and what you really are. That's what humanity needs. That's why you were created. You have everything you need. You don't have to go outside of yourself. There are things in this life, if we're aware of, can be greatly appreciated by each one of us. But no one saves our life. No one can make us happy. No one can tell us how to live our life. That's the responsibility, the joy, and the carnation of our life experience. Oh, I think she loves me. It'll make me happy. Well, if you don't love yourself, it's all waste. It's not going to work, I promise you. We've seen it, all of us have seen it. Well, he loves me, she loves me. It'll be wonderful. But unless you love yourself, unless you possess that awareness of who and what you are, probably not going to work out real well. We each have the ability, the wherewithal. We got it at the factory. We can create a life that will give us satisfaction, that will have challenges and heartaches and aches and pains, that will help us develop and further become who and what we truly are. Love yourself. Identify yourself. You don't have to be cool. Wasn't in the contract. You don't have to be brilliant. You know, we all have bodies. Every one of us has a body. It's something we have. It's not who we are. Every one of us has a brain. It's something we have. It's not who we are. What we are is every single component of this universe manifested into a human being, into a spiritual human being. You have infinite love within you, compassion, understanding, caring. And I think our assignment or our challenge is to be aware of that and learn how to use these wonderful things that these unseen things that we all possess, how we can use them to create the life that we want and then would give us the experiences that we choose to have. We can make our bodies do whatever we want them to do within reason. We can train our brains to think and respond to a lot of different things. And that's minuscule compared to what we can be, what you possess that you are. We just have to figure out what that is, each one of us. I asked Wayne if we were going to sing the peace song this morning. I said, Wayne, I want to change it. Let's sing I Love Myself the Way I Am. And how we've sung that over and over again. But do we really? Let's put our awareness there and check it out. We have the capacity to do that. If we quit telling ourselves we're less than, or we don't have that capacity, or we have limitations. The assets that came inside of our souls, our unseen parts, our unknowable, those assets are limitless. And why in the world should we limit ourselves? Why should we think that we're less than, we're not worthy, we're not bright enough? Love yourselves, and others will as well. Let's stand and sing.